about things that occurred last night. And we start with Raptors and the Warriors. Here we go. Golden State wins, unfortunately, though, at the cost of Steph Curry. He gets injured in this one. It's a 3-point win for them. Draymond finishing with 21, 7, and 5. Jimmy, 16, 11, and 12. But the story, of course, is Steph. He left this one in the third with a pelvic contusion and did not come back. I mean, we could talk about whether or not a foul should have been called. You can talk about how big a deal, here we go, how big a deal it is for, that's kind of we're walking into two trees, isn't it?
Yeah.
Should there be a foul?
Unfortunately, it's not a foul. This is what they'll call incidental contact, especially when it doesn't. They would consider this not affecting the play. Sucks to see him go down with such injury. That's gonna be one that stings for a while. With your pelvis and your tailbone, and that area is gonna be tough. I don't know where they go from here, but you know, as far as that play, you know, they're gonna say that's incidental contact or the guy was straight up and down. So
what is the time on something like this? Is it a pain thing? You just have to figure out when you're done with the pain, or
that's gonna be a nagger.
So that's what it is.
Yeah, that one's gonna come down to pain tolerance. That tailbone and that pelvic area, like all your midsection, that's just gonna come down to your pain tolerance. I've dealt with this a few times, but nothing too serious.
I don't know, Chandler. Yeah. He misses the game for rest, and then he comes back and gets hurt. This is not cool.
Again, I think he's just in a lot of pain today. There's probably some swelling. I think it's old tub and massage and things like that just to get him back on the floor. I can't see him missing more than a week. You want to be extra cautious with him. Steph, maybe 2 weeks, but I don't think there's anything bad. Also, I don't think it was a foul either. They did a pretty good job going hurt. It's just kind of a fluke of a play where it shouldn't have happened. It wasn't dirty, but you hate to see him go down, especially because how good they're playing right now. Obviously, Steph Curry is key to their playoff chances and their playoff hopes.
I mean, look, they got the win. Here's the thing, though, if we want to throw the standings up there, because we're all keeping an eye on that 6th spot that they currently hold. But with everything that's going around them, specifically looking at, you know, say, Clippers and Timberwolves, what's your concern level, Chandler, on keeping that 6th spot for Golden State?
Honestly, I think they keep it. I think they're playing really well. Who knows how long that Steph Curry is out. And the Timberwolves are playing really good. The Clippers are starting to figure it out with getting healthier. Now Norman Powell's back. Kawhi's healthy. He's playing great. So there are teams that are playing good behind them. But the Warriors, ever since this trade, they're a completely different team. They defend. They've been one of the better defensive teams since the trade. They can score in multiple different ways. Draymond Green's going on a nice little stretch of scoring in his career. He's now putting the ball in the basket. So obviously, Steph Curry being hurt and not knowing a timetable kind of puts a little asterisk next to this, but I think that they're still capable of winning games without Steph because they can play through Jimmy now, they defend, and other guys can step up. Now with Kuminga back, they can give him more looks and more opportunity, and they have enough to scores to kind of fill that void, but they're obviously a completely different team without Steph.
I mean, their schedule upcoming is relatively friendly, Lou.
It's
Hawks,
favorable.
Heat, Pelicans, Spurs. Grizzlies.
Yeah, their next six games on this road trip is going to be favorable for them. You know, this is 3 or 4 games that you look at on paper, and when you match it up, you feel like those are going to be 3 or 4 games that they can go out there and win and be able to compete. Chandler just mentioned it, them having Kuminga back in the lineup, the way that Jimmy's playing. Draymond is being more of an offensive threat. He's using his ability to facilitate for other guys to use that to be able to score himself. So, you know, it's going to excuse me, it's going to sting for them a while for Steph to be out of this lineup. Who knows how long this is going to last, but I think they can survive this and they can remain in that 6th seed with what they have on the floor.
On the Draymond offense stuff, that's his second 20-point game. I mean, I would imagine with Steph out, maybe other teams start to figure this out defensive strategy-wise. Chandler, do you think he can keep that up, or they'll do something different?
Is he a 20-point scorer a night? Probably not. And I've always respected this about Draymond Green, where he mastered his role so early in his career that he never had to even score. Like, in the way people guard him, he's going to get open looks. If he could knock him down at a high clip, then, yeah, I think he's got potential. I mean, look, he's getting open shots in an empty gym the way these guys are guarding him. So if he can make these, yes, that's not what he does. He's a playmaker. He can play point forward. He can initiate the offense. He can, I think they could expose little guards that switch on him a little bit more and kind of get him to the free throw line more. So yes, I think there's more potential for him to score more, but it's not why he's going to the Hall of Fame. He's going to the Hall of Fame for winning games and doing all the little things and being a great defender. Scoring is just a cherry on top with Draymond Green.
And that's a fact. Like, we don't really need him to have big scoring outbursts. We just need him to be aggressive and, again, use that as a tool to get other guys open. If a team is going to play 10 feet off of you, of course you shoot open shots. But what I love about Draymond, sometimes he closes that gap between defenders. He makes you guard him. He's going to either drive past you or he's going to use that for teams to step up, use help side, and kick the ball out. That's where he's going to be dangerous. Now, him going out scoring 20, 25 points, I don't know if that's a recipe that the Golden State Warriors want to have, but him using his ability to make wide open shots, that opens up the floor for everybody else.
You know what he is? He's just a smart player, and when guys will guard him off him and stay back, he knows to go to a dribble handoffs and there's no show. He knows to slip a screen, so he plays really smart within their offense. He takes advantage of how guys guard him, not being able to shoot efficiently. So he's just a really smart player. He's savvy, he's heady, and again, I think we could, if he would have went to a Charlotte or a Washington early in his career, yeah, he probably could have averaged 20, 22 points a game with a bigger role and expand his game more. But that's never been his game in Golden State. It's never had to be.
The defense part. Let's talk about it, because they were already, since the trade anyways, the Warriors have had a top 3 defense in the league. Last night, this thing was sealed with Jimmy and a block. You love top 5 lists. How about Jimmy and Draymond, top 5 defensive duo in the league right now?
You got a few of them out there, but we knew the moment that Jimmy went to the Golden State Warriors that their identity as a defensive team was going to be upgraded, right? Like just what he's able to do. He can guard damn near 1 through 5 if you would like him to, just being scrappy in the post with big guys. You know what he can do, guard the guard when he's guarding those guys. And also Draymond, like you need a motor. You need a guy that's going to be able to communicate, keep everything organized. I mean, like Draymond is playing football out there a lot of the times. He's playing safety. He goes out and helps, doubles on things that's not called for it, but that's just instinct. So you have 2 instinctive guys on the defensive end linking up and they're making plays. Jimmy just won him a game last night on defense. So pairing these 2 guys together, we already knew what that was going to bring to the table. Now, of course, the top 5 in the duos, these are like, who knows, you know? But for the Golden State Warriors, these 2 guys, they've created an identity for this team to move forward, and that helps everybody else fall in line when to do what's needed to be done on the defensive end for them.
Come on, we love top 5 lists, Chandler. We love all
Get in there.
They're top 5 for sure. I don't know 4 that would be better than them. I really don't. These guys are versatile. They're both, like Lou said, they can switch 1 through 5. They can guard everybody. Draymond Green talks so much on where they just this natural born just a communicator on defense where he gets everybody in space. They're long, they're versatile, like I said. So I don't know who's a better duo than them because they are guys that a lot of people say let's switch 1 through 5, but there's still some sort of mismatches. You can legitimately switch 1 through 5 with these guys. They can front the post. You don't have to double team. They are extremely versatile the way they play defense, and they're so good they can even hide certain guys at any time of the game. So they, to me, yes, they're top 5. I think they're top 1 or 2.
There you go. Went 1 and 2. All right, fair enough. Steve Kerr said that Draymond Green is the best defender he has ever seen. We've got a lot of good Kerr quotes out of this season. Chandler, are you buying this, or is this just Kerr having his dudes back?
He's very good. He's a very good defender, but again, this is Steve Kerr, pumping up his guys, and as a head coach should. But you look down the great defenders of all time, he's in the conversation, best ever. Again, who knows? Everyone's rankings are differently, but I'll tell you this: if I'm Draymond, if I'm the Warriors, I love that my coach is saying this. I love that my coach is, pumping me up, getting my back. Draymond's already said he wants to win Defensive Player of the Year again. Most likely going to be first team all defense. So. Yeah, he is that good on defense, and he is that important to the Golden State Warriors defense to where he may be. But, I mean, Steve Kerr played with a lot of good defenders and have coached against a lot of good defenders. But I love that he said it. I love that he went to bat for his guy.
The best defender.
And Steve Kerr's seen some guys, so this is a major compliment coming from Steve Kerr. You've had Andre Iguodala as one of your guys. You've coached, you played alongside Scottie Pippen. Like, he's seen a lot of different guys that have made their livings on both offense and the defensive end. And so saying this for Draymond, it's huge. But the one thing that Draymond has that these other guys don't, he's still wearing a uniform for Steve Kerr. So you need that. You need to go out there and say that and light a fire up under your guys and have them have that confidence in you the same way that you have in them.
Look, they were in the Bay last night, but they were playing Toronto, and that gives us a good excuse to talk about this. Because Thad Young was on a podcast with Tony Allen